There is power in personal stories. It connects us, it empowers us, and it holds us accountable. It creates understanding and expands our perspective. This is Big in the Community with Jonathan James at the Kalamazoo Promise, a podcast aimed to highlight local leaders, collaborators, and innovators in the greater Kalamazoo community. All right, welcome. I'm going to start us off with a quote, okay? I feel like that's the best way. Community is the heart of humanity, where connections are nurtured, support is found, and lives are transformed. That's an unknown person. I don't have an actual quote for that.
You said that.
I didn't say that. I can't claim that. But anyway, I would like to welcome our first guest, somebody who is relatively new to the community. You went to school here.
Yeah, I went to Western 2011 to 2017.
Yeah. So you've been here for a while. You're part of my community when I went to school. So I think it's only fitting that you are here as the first person. But we have Jonathan Davis here.
Thank you for being lied to me, man. I'm serious.
Hey, it's cool. Don't get too emotional though. We got to get through. We got to get through these questions.
All right, I got you.
So tell me, what do you do?
So I work for the TRIO SSP program located at Western Michigan University. TRIO is a program across the United States. I work for one of them here at Western. We're geared toward, it's a government-funded program geared to helping first generation, which means your guardians, either guardians do not have a bachelor's. Pell Grant eligible means financial aid, and then you're registered for student disability services at Western Michigan University. I am the academic service specialist, so think of it like the academic advisor. Mm-hmm. I monitor grades, and I come up with like plans to see like if you have below 2.0, create a plan for you to help you out. I run 2 classes, the first year experience and the University 1030, how to market yourself. And then I also do semester check-in meetings, and there's meetings with students in general. So,
okay, pretty
eventful day.
Yeah, so you make sure students, they get to where they're trying to go, right?
Yeah, I look at it as here's the pieces, and I can help them put the puzzle together.
Okay. So
people are like, oh, you tell them what to do? Like, I don't tell you what to do. You tell me, and then I'm like, all right, here are the pieces, and you put in I'm helping you put it together. And if you feel like this is something you want to do, go do it. And if it doesn't work, let's start back to the drawing board.
Okay. Cool. So could you tell me a little bit more about Mers Tate College and the TRIO program as a whole?
So the Mers Tate College deals with a holistic approach of education. So that's where you get all your student services program at, Alpha program, the military veterans help, student services, and the TRIO. So we're part of that program to help students out and give them the support that they need to succeed in life.
Okay, cool. That's pretty on par. I printed out the whole mission statement, and you pretty much summed it all up. So I appreciate that. So how long have you been in your current role, and how long have you been in Kalamazoo? I know you said, yeah, I'll just let you repeat it.
So it's going on a year. So September will be a full year. And it's truly been a blessing and a wild whirlwind. Like a lot of things I accomplished. I was like, wow, I did a lot. I haven't been here a year. The same goes with Kalamazoo. Just trying to, I think when I first got here to Kalamazoo, it was a cultural shock because it's like, well, most of my friends are like either gone, married with kids, living a different
My bad.
He's like, I found happiness. I can't. He's like, hey. And so a bit of depression came through. So trying to like find people, trying to find my way, got back into church, and now just taking day by day of like going out, meeting new people, and trying new things.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So one of the main reasons I was glad you were one of the first people to be on here was you've only been in your role for a year.
Yes.
And you've already made connections. You had us come and visit and talk to your whole team, and we figured out new ways to support the students that you have, the students that we have. Mm-hmm. But then also you won an award already. You was here a year and you already an award winner, Jonathan Davis. So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
So I think a while ago, my supervisors, I think they sent an email talking about like this award coming up, and I didn't think nothing of it because I'm like, I'm not gonna. She said she nominated us, but I'm like, okay, she just being nice.
Right.
But I'm like, I'm not gonna care because I'm not gonna win, whatever. And then it's April 19th, the day after my birthday. It's my uncle birthday. Shout out to them. And I just had a real bad birthday. I felt depressed. It didn't go my way. And then I look at an email and it says, congratulations. I was like, wait, what? Like, you won an award. I was like, wait, what? It was like most outstanding employer, something like that. And I was just like, wait, what? And like, I was so geeked. I had to tell my family and my supervisor, and she's like, yeah, we nominated you. And I was like, I remember that, but I didn't think I was going to win. Like, it was, I think the biggest thing for it was it's like a validation, because I was like, wow, like, I don't like do my work to like get like recognition, but it was one of those things where like, wow, thank you. Like, it's letting people know I'd done a lot. And I was like, wow.
It still meant something to you.
Yeah. And then like I found out some other people, did a little shout out, helped me out too. And I was like, really?
I filled it out too, because I saw the work you were doing, and your team also reached out to me and said, this award is coming up, and if you want to nominate someone, feel free. So I saw the work you were doing. Clearly, other people saw the work that you were doing.
But hold on. I almost cried when you told me that. I almost cried because I was like, "Oh, my man's like, he really looking out for me. Thank you."
Hey man, that's part of the whole thing. That's part of the community. Like you were part of my journey with me going to school. You were part of the community that founded Western. So like, for me to do something like that it was an email. I filled out a form. Like, it's not, when you think about it, it's not that hard to recognize somebody and what they're doing. So
yeah, but I still thank you. You took a time out your day and just say, hey, my man's out.
It's no problem, man. Don't worry about it. So anyway, how do you collaborate with the Promise? And then how do you collaborate with other organizations as well?
So when it comes to the Promise, I heard about the Promise when I was a freshman here, because I met a lot of people who have the Kalamazoo Promise. I was like, what is that? Because I'm originally from Grand Rapids. And so, I heard about it for years and years. And so now in my program, we have a couple of students that are part of the Promise. And I was like, oh, and then you were working there. And I said, hey, I think that'd be a good connection, because at the time, I just remember, like, hey, who you talk to about this? And they were like, well, we won't talk to anybody. And I said, okay, hey, I'm going to reach out so we can, see if we can collaborate with the Promise, to see, like, if we can get our name out there in the community, and let's help our students out, too, as well. So I look for, like, a way to, like, how does this better fit our students? That's the first thing I'll do is, how did this benefit our students? What's the need? What do I remember, like, talking to students about? Even when I was a student, like, even though times have changed, like, struggle doesn't change. You need money, you need food, you need, supplies. So I was just like, okay, let me go find what's out there and how can I give this to my students. So that's all I do.
Okay. That's beautiful. You're going to make me cry. Anyway, so you mentioned a little bit about your background, but what's your story? Like, how did you get to where you are now? What makes you? And you can start at the beginning. You can go as far back as you want. Whatever you feel comfortable sharing. I
was born in West Philadelphia. It's a simple story of I'm the middle child of three from a single parent. I was held back in second grade. So I was a bad kid too, man. Like it was so bad. Like, I remember in high school, this teacher stopped calling my mom. She just sent her emails. I got an email on Christmas like, Miss Davis, Jonathan has been really, really destructive and disrespectful. I'm like, on Christmas?
That's rough.
Talk about the Grinch stole Christmas. She stole like, what you doing? So, and one of the things my mom always installed in me and my sisters is going to go to college. You will be successful. And I was like, okay. And I didn't think of it because I didn't think I would go to college or even succeed like this. But I just thank God he put some people in my life who got me on the right track. Can I give a shout out to these people? So, of course, my mom, she's been the foundation of Jesus' foundation, but she's been everywhere and everything for me. So, my sisters have been great supporters as well. My grandmother, my uncle, my great uncle Sammy, as a good man, was like, this is the standard bearer. He's a father, man of the church. And like, okay, I want to be what he is. And then, like I said, I grew up with my father, but he put like good men in my life, like my uncle, who I got to see grow from a child to a man and see the mistakes he made, but how he overcome those things. And then this one, his name is Lawrence Young. He was like, he was a deacon at the church I went to in Grand Rapids, and he was like the ultimate father figure to me. Came to my events, whether in wrestling or church events. He even came to my sister's events. Came to my graduations and things like that.
He was
everywhere, man. He moved one time, and that really like hurt me because I felt like, man, are you leaving too? But we kept in contact the best way we can because I'm terrible at communication, but when he calls, like on my birthday, calls, he'll sing, and that gets me all teared up. But he was such a big impact to my life. So like when I got this job, and I told like his wife, and I told him on the phone, just hearing him say like, "I'm proud of you," and I was like,
"That's big."
That meant a lot to me, And me and my dad relationship is gotten better. Again, when he told me he proud of me too, so I'm like, okay, thank you, Dad. So I'm in school, and I didn't really know I wanted to be an actor. I want to be the next Denzel Washington.
Okay, Denzel.
It was Trinidad. I seen Trinidad. I was like, I want to be that. I want to be. Yeah, that's right. I want to be the bad guy.
Training day.
I love it, dude. Like I remember, I was going out for a play, Charlotte's Web. I literally watched that movie, Trinidad, the ending scene, like over and over because I was gonna use that as my monologue. And so my father was like,
intense for.
Oh, you mother.
That's funny.
And so I get to college. I get the So during the play, I got the Charlotte play, and then I got rejected from a lot of colleges. And then I got accepted to Western. I was like, oh, okay. I never even heard of Kalamazoo. I'm dead serious. Like,
and it's okay. That's the point of this podcast. We trying to uplift all the different things that Kalamazoo has. You know what I mean?
I didn't know it was a city. Like there's a street, and I'm like, oh, does street have? But anyway, I get to Western, and I'm doing film and video, but really just not knowing what I want to do. And then over the summer, I started working at a place called Tall Turf, working with youth. It was like a Christian camp. I was a counselor.
Okay.
I was terrible. No, dude, I was the worst counselor.
But you knew you wanted to do this.
Well, I knew I wanted to be with students, some with students. Yeah. I felt called there. Even though it was the worst, I was the worst counselor. Then I, did some work at my church, and then I said, God, I want to be a teacher. Then I came back to Western. I tried to be elementary school teacher, but then, as I kept working, and I was like, well, I feel stuck here. Like I feel stuck because day to day, I love the students, but I like the flexibility of moving around and not being like confined to like one area.
Okay.
And when I came back to school, because like I was in education, I got the FAME scholarship, Funds for Advancement for Minorities Education. Okay. And then the woman at the time running the program, she said, hey, I think will be perfect for you as a TRIO program. I have no idea what she was talking about. I said, okay, let's do it. So she took me downstairs, and then that's when I met Maya Hughes. And she was like, "Oh, wait, tell us about yourself." And I said, "I'm just a broke kid from Grand Rapids, Michigan." And I got in the program. And that was like the best thing that ever happened to me. Being a part of that program, like kind of like, and seeing how they do everything and all the students they get to work with and the amount of support that they gave me and they gave everyone, I said, I want to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I was like, I want to work for Trio. So
you were in the program.
Yes.
Okay.
So like I was in the program and I was like, man, I want to do this. This is what I want to do. I want to work for Trio. So I switched my major to like general studies so I can like graduate. So I went to try to get my master's in counseling, like college counseling. And at this time, and like it wasn't for me, and I failed. Then at the time I was working at an elementary school. Elementary school. I was like a parapro, working with like kindergartners and all them. These kindergartners, man. And then I tried to go back. I got a new job working with middle schoolers. Keep going? Okay, I'm looking at you. Okay. So I went to work with middle school. I work at a middle school, which was another great experience. But like the thing that kept staying in my mind was, I want to get the Trio. So, so I'm working at in the middle school as the site coordinator at a school program, meeting some great kids and great people. But like my mind was always get the Trio. And it's funny how God works, because during this time, I'm trying to find ways to like grow myself as a man. So like, I was trying to find apartments and I got denied. And then like, applying for different jobs and they kept saying no. And so then I'm like, okay, maybe, and I was gonna go back to school in college to become a advisor. And at this time, I found like Trio has a job opening here at Western. I was like, oh, I'm going to apply for this.
Right.
I applied, studied, research my butt off, and I got the job. And I was so happy. Then now I'm here. And once I got here, I said, okay, this is where I've been, praying for, long study nights and praying, crying for and working for. And now I'm here. It's like, okay, now you're here. I used to be like, okay, I don't want to get fired, but now it's more so I want to help the best way I can and reaching out to like the best sort of our students, Again, like I'm not like, when I got the award, thank God, but I was like, I want to help my students. So I'm like doing my best to like get us involved in this community, because I'm big on like people and helping people out.
Okay, so you talked about what got you here, a little bit about your journey. If you could do anything to transform Kalamazoo, what would it be? Regardless of funding or anything that would get in the way of what you want to do, what would it be?
Clean up the potholes. No. I don't know. Like, you could say help, like give homes to the homeless, and so they can, there's that. I don't know. I think that's something that's been on my mind lately. Of like, if I was a billionaire, like I'll buy a hotel and like give it to all these homeless people. Like, here, I think that's the biggest thing. I think, and also just maybe clean up a little bit. I don't know. Like, I think that's the biggest thing though. But yeah, Kazoo's, it's nice. Just, she was a little bigger.
Okay. So you want Kalamazoo to be bigger? Like what city?
No, like, okay. Well, okay. So here's the thing. I'm confused. So like, I'll drive somewhere. They're like, oh, here in Westnedge. I thought it was Portage. No, this is Portage. Is West. So like, what's Kalamazoo? It's just this little island over here.
No, you gotta look at the map where everything is. It's a weird map. Like if you were to draw it, you can't, listeners, you can't see it, but it looks like, just imagine if you took your pen and just scribbled on, piece of paper. That's what it would look like.
That's what it looks like, a little small.
No, it's not small. It's bigger than you think it is. It's when you're on one road and you just keep going, like Westnedge, you'll think Kalamazoo's small because of the amount of Westnedge that is in Kalamazoo.
That's what gets me on. Like,
but Kalamazoo it's bigger than you think. You could be on one side of Kalamazoo and have a completely different experience, like growing up, than someone on another side of town.
Well, I get that. Like that's how like GR is. Like I was on Roll Gold. You know what I'm talking about?
Gold Road.
Yeah, that there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that was a nice little area. And I'm like, it looks similar to what Westnedge Portage. I don't know. Like what is Portage?
Portage is a city.
What's Westnedge?
It's a street.
So somebody said they live on Portage Westnedge. What is that?
They mean Westnedge on they mean the street Westnedge. They live on that street in Portage. That's what they mean.
Okay, that's what gets me. Yeah. I was like, I don't like. So Portage is like our like Grand Rapids division, where it's like this long street where like, okay,
it's like that.
Okay,
you get people who aren't locals on the podcast. They
You're
start
right.
talking crazy about Kalamazoo. So okay, if the Kalamazoo Promise was available to you, how would that have changed things for you? I know it's a big question.
Man, it's like asking if we gave you $1 million right now, how would that change your life? Right?
Hey, I hope everybody sees the promise that way.
Man, if I got the promise, that would have cut out so many things. I think again, not only like the biggest thing is about financial. When it comes to school, is like paying it off. So like, I have no balance, so I have no loans. I think that's the biggest thing. And then you also have like, I don't know if you did it back then, but I know now you have like this community base, come down here, and you got people like you guys here to like to talk to you and like help guide you, and then you like get to meet alum, see what they're doing, connect with alum, because like that can be like a future employer, a reference. So I'm like, so it's that community base that you give along with the financial support, and it's like, then I'm golden.
Yeah. The holistic approach is great. I mean, we have 22 people on staff plus 5 interns, and over half of us are Promise alum. So we can also speak on, I've been through that. Let me help you get through that too.
And I think that's so amazing. Again, like those, like I'm like being part of my job, like I am a TRIO alum, and I tell students like I'm a TRIO alum. So I, been in your like I've been having your situation, but I can stand like, struggling and like what you're thinking about and feeling like, because like with first generation, you feel like, okay, I feel behind. Mm-hmm. I know that feeling of feeling like, okay, I'm on one skate and everyone on 2 skates, so I can relate to them. So that's what I think the Promise would have done for me. Mm-hmm. It gave me that other skate.
Okay, I like that analogy.
I got that from Will Smith from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
See, you can't just come on here and talk about other stuff. It's got to be original.
It was original. He wrote it.
All right. I missed one. So what are some of your favorite things about Kalamazoo?
It's really nice. It's nice. Like I like they're smaller because it's more intimate.
All right, you gotta quit saying it's small. You gotta give me something else.
Well, I mean, again, like I was somewhere and I was like, I know that person. I know that person. It's like, it's like so it's, and I like.
So you're able to build relationships.
Yeah, it's quick because like it's like some people. Like once you know 2 people, then like 8 people, then 40 people. I'm like, okay, I think if I have kids, I'll live in Kalamazoo so I can get this promise.
Okay, all right, do it for the kids.
Do it for the kids.
All right. If you had a gold nugget of information that you would share with someone who would like to do the same work as you, what would that be?
You gotta put God first, have some faith, because you're not gonna get paid as much as you think you will, but you gotta love it. You gotta love the students, the grind, and also make sure you save room for yourself. Know your limits. Like I love students, I love what I do, but it's like, okay, at this certain time, I know where Jonathan starts and like Mr. Davis what begins. So I have that balance, work balance, and again, go out and try to see what's out there and make connections and meet new people. You never know what happens.
Nice. You're doing great. This is great.
I feel like you're in my doctor's office. I'm like, Chill.
All right. Do you have any questions for me?
What's one thing the Promise offered that you feel like you wish you'd have gotten back when we were growing up, going to college?
Well, some they're doing now.
Yeah, so one they offered that you wish like it's been there or and it got improved that you like, man, I didn't take advantage of that when I was in school and I wish I'd done that.
I think all the ways that they're trying to build community now, all the way they're trying to build like a scholar network, an alumni network, just having people that you could talk to and actually like figure out how to do this college thing. It's when I was younger, a lot of times like if we weren't at like the RSO or like at a group function, I didn't enjoy being at school. You know what I mean? Like it always felt like work to me. So, but when we went to the Bernhardt Center, we were playing games and stuff and connecting and all that I really enjoyed that community aspect. So like back then I didn't realize it, but I really was about the community, work, but I didn't know it then. I didn't know how to get into it now. So I think that, and then all the opportunities to figure out what you want to do now. Or when you grow up, when you graduate, what you want to do. Having the internship, the Higher Promise program, that's amazing. Plus having the opportunity to, I'm going to go try this.
Yeah.
During my junior year. If I don't like it,
I'm out.
I've still got more time because I felt like I was kind of locked into my major once I was like 2-3 years into it.
That's something like I tell students a lot this, and I understand, like mama, granny, daddy, like, hey, you got to go to school, and they put that on you to like break the generational curse, right? Mm-hmm. And I'll tell students, it's your life, it's your journey. So you have a destination, and you may take another path to get there, and that's okay. Sometimes you have to go left when you actually want to go right, but you're going to get to where you want to go. And even when I was when I graduated, and I was like, yo, what I want to do, and I remember talking to Maya, she was like, it's take time. So a lot of things I tell students, like it takes time. Like you may be going to school for engineering. Okay, not engineering because you always get a job with that, but more so like, let's say you're going to be a teacher. Sometimes you just find yourself, I don't want to do this anymore, and it's okay. And it's okay to go back and to redo something else. Don't feel like you have to be trapped. It's your life. Yeah, you go make those decisions. So that's the biggest thing. Because I understand what you're saying. Because like I thought that too, and that's the common thing everybody have. Like you feel like you have to do this. Like no, you don't have to do this major if you don't want to do it. Go do something else.
Yeah, I was like, I need to get this done as soon as possible. Start working so I can take care of my kid.
Yeah, because you got the son, and like I get that too. So it's like it's different because you had another person to look after. But so it's more cautious with it. But like people, if you don't,
you have a lot more freedom.
Yeah, you can bounce back. Even if you do have somebody to look after, you may have to take a little more time, but you can bounce back from it. Like if someone would have, like I always wanted to be trio, but if you told me like it'll take me this long to get to trio, I'm like, oh man. But if you think about all the things I went through in the history, it's like, oh, it led me up to here. So like the mishap on the camp counselor helped me understand of how to stay calm and how to talk to people on different levels and how to communicate better with everyone else. So that was like some of the things that I learned from those mistakes.
I like it. How can people get involved in the work that you're doing?
Well, first you got to go to school, get your degree. But actuality, again, you want to find out what do you feel passionate about? What's your calling? And write that down, and then go find where's that located. So for me, it was becoming part of Trio. For someone else, it may be part of Trio, maybe working here at Kalamazoo Promise, maybe somewhere else. But you got to find yourself like, what is something that I love doing? you're going to make a decent living, but like I love it, and like God will provide. You may have to work more, but He will provide.
Yeah. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. Did you have any other questions for me?
Oh man,
I realized I just jumped into the next thing. I was like, all right, you hit me with a tough question. Let me go ahead and
because you're a Westbrook fan, but no.
All right, I'll take that. Westbrook.
No. No, there's no other question. I mean, you love what you do.
Yeah, I do. I honestly do. I enjoy it. I come to work. I feel good about it. I go home. I can talk to the wife about it and not be like, oh, I hate it here. No, it's good. I genuinely enjoy what I'm doing. So, all right. Well, I appreciate you. You got anything else you want to say?
I think what I want to say, like also, well, like breaking those generations. Cause like most of the students here are like first generation, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And we deal with those. And one of the things I learned too is like when it's hard to break a generational curse, but when you break one of them, the floodgates will open up. Because my younger sister, graduated from college.
Yeah.
My cousin, she graduated from college. Actually, she got her. She got from HBCU.
Wow. Which one?
Oh my gosh, it matter. It's in Florida. FAMU.
We got confirmation from the producer, formerly known as the producer, intern, turned producer, and now we got the intern, producer, intern, producer, intern, turn.
All them turns. What's wrong with y'all? And lastly, I think just it takes time, and that's one of the biggest things I learned through my life and journey. It takes time. Mm-hmm. Whatever you want to accomplish, whether you're in school or you're creating a business or anything, it takes time. And here are some things that can help you out during this time. Because when you have a vision, you create the vision, you have to have patience. And you need a great community around you. And one of the biggest things that I learned about community is they tell you what you don't, but they tell you what you need to hear, and they do it in a way that you don't want to hear it. Whatever. So like you be like, yeah, man, you pretty trash. Like you just like, wait, what? Why are you telling us? Like, no, you need to know. And like, so a lot of guys in my community say, hey, John, you need to do this, and I was like, I don't want to hear that. I didn't like the way you said it, but I understand where they're coming from now. You need discipline. That discipline is very key. And that's where the community come in, is helping you stay on track. Try to get people in your group who are where you want to. They're where you at, where you want to be at, and where you want to go. So it's just a very different group of people. And don't be afraid to fail. And like this, you're going to be resilient with it. It's okay. You're going to fail. You're going to have moments of doubt, but you can get back up and stay with God. And if you're not a believer, just keep moving forward.
I like that. It's got the producer's approval. I like it, man. Thank you so much. Thank you for what you've done for me. Thank you for what you're still doing. You've been in community. I believe you're big in community. I don't care what nobody else says. You got awards. You are the bigger and better things. Like you, honestly, I can't wait to see what you do. I just want to say that you have a story to tell, and people need to hear it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I'm getting my master's this fall. So.
All right, man.
In higher education. Yeah. So like, I needed to move forward. So like, I failed once, failed twice, and now I'm going on. So let you know, like, the plan is still in action and the vision is still ongoing.
That's beautiful. All right, man. You're ready. Be confident and know that you have everything that you need.
Oh, thank you, man. Go Lakers.
Can we cut that? We got to cut that.
I get bro. I got to get. The Lakers got to get their love.